All right, guys, and away we go with episode 34 of The Buzz About East Brunswick. Obviously, the man right here to the left of me, Mayor Cohen. Good morning. How you doing?
Good.
Fist bump, yeah. I'm Greg T, and we're about to jump into it. We always do say there's a lot going on in East Brunswick, and after today's podcast, you're going to see why we say it. There really is a lot happening here in East Brunswick in town. Would you agree?
I totally agree.
Yeah, there really is. You're a very busy mayor, I will tell you that. The things that we're going to talk about
There's a lot
today,
of people in town that are doing some really interesting things. We want them to know about it, and there's a lot of programs that we're doing, and we want to draw the crowds out.
You know, that is funny that you said that, because when we first started this, we did have those ideas of throwing it out there to the residents in East Brunswick, and if there's something really, neat that they're doing or they're involved in, if they wanted to reach out to us, we would gladly have them on the podcast. Yeah, you know what? We should really try to get back to something like that. I know we had, obviously we kicked it off with the man that does the big Halloween
stuff.
Right, he was great. We had somebody from the library that...
The Legos.
Legos, right. But yeah, I think we got to get back into that. Would be great to get to more residents that are doing really cool things here in East Brunswick.
Yeah, no, there really are.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes we don't even know about it.
That's
so
right.
If somebody else does,
Yeah.
they could let us know.
True. Right. If you know somebody yet, tip us off to who this person is, or tap them on the shoulder and tell them, hey, contact the mayor, and we'll gladly have you on the podcast.
Exactly, a hobby, an interest, a collection, something that you really think is different or unique, or would be of public interest.
Agreed. All right, so let's do it. Obviously, now is it there's a pink elephant in the room or a white elephant? What's the saying? Is it the pink elephant? I think it's the pink elephant in the room.
Okay.
So I think the pink elephant in the room, obviously, is the massive storm that we had. So we're going to definitely dive into that. But before, so I just wanted to call it out that, fear not, we are absolutely going to be talking a lot about the storm. But let's just cover just a couple little bits of pieces of information.
Only really good thing out of it, you always have to find a silver lining, is that it's not 110 degrees anymore.
Next thing on my list, exactly. So how did that, the heat, that was unbearable, right? You had posted a picture on Facebook that you had seen something, it said 113
in my
degrees.
car, right?
Oh, in your car?
Everybody's got that down in their car.
Yeah.
So it tells you what the temperature is. I know the asphalt's probably a little warmer than what it actually is outside.
Yeah.
But at the point when I took the picture, it read 113. It went up to 115.
Wow.
But yeah, that's ungodly.
Yeah, I can't. I was talking to my sister about this. Actually, we were having a conversation. Do you remember any other summers other than this one where it was this hot?
No.
Have you felt the storms are getting stronger?
I grew up in North Jersey.
Okay.
So it's a little cooler up there. The elevation's a little higher, so it's a little cooler.
Yeah.
But I just don't remember numbers like that.
Right. Neither do I. The only way to get through 4th of July weekend was just stay in a pool, stay in the water. That was it.
Yeah. Crystal Springs was pretty busy.
I'm sure. Right. There you go.
There were so many people in the pool. I don't know how they actually swam. They were just in the water.
Yeah, that's right. So that's great. And you see, there you go. Crystal Springs, nice job. We're going to talk more about them as well, because they're doing something very cool that I think you guys are going to want to know about, which is great. Let's dive into this. So you are walking around Lake Farrington, right by Bicentennial Park.
Right.
And you notice that the water level, even though we've had all these storms, still very low.
Yeah.
So what's that say to you?
First of all, I never remember on a regular basis going into Farrington Lake by Bicentennial Park and being able to walk on a beach.
Right.
Because it's always right up to the edge, and people would fish right off of the side of Bicentennial Park. Now they actually have a beach there that goes all around all that. That just shows you how low the water level is.
Right.
And while we have had occasional, obviously downpours, it hasn't really dramatic brought our water levels up to where they need to be.
That's a problem. It really is. So yeah, that's pretty good. Something that you've noticed. It was very good on your part to bring that to people's attention, that we still need a lot more rain to fill up our reservoirs and our lakes. And
Lake Farrington really is essentially the water supply for the city of New Brunswick. That's what it is. It's our property, and part of it's South Brunswick, part of it's North Brunswick, but it's owned by the city of New Brunswick.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's their water supply. You got to be really careful what they dump into that water. You got to be careful what you do on the water. So that's why it's restricted on some of the things you can and can't do.
I never knew the importance of Farrington.
That's
great.
50 feet on the shore is owned by the city of New Brunswick, all around the perimeter of Lake Farrington. So for those people who've put docks and stuff out, they're actually really putting it on New Brunswick property.
It's really interesting. Interesting. Yeah. I didn't know. There you go. See, you learned something new here at the Buzz.
There you go.
All right. Now, last week we touched on it. It was, you had noticed that there was a bald eagle, and somebody else had noticed it as well, that they're seeing them at Bicentennial Park and at Tammany Park.
Yeah,
sorry,
people
Tammany
had
Park.
been talking about it, and then during the election cycle, I stopped at somebody's home,
right?
And she's associated with as a partner who has a house on the lake and borders on Bicentennial.
Yeah.
And she was saying, "Oh yes, I could see the nests sometimes. I could see where the eagles are. We get beautiful pictures from there. There's such beautiful, majestic birds."
Yeah.
And talk to me about the difference between recognizing that and hawks and
right,
which are very common there as well, and turkey vultures, which are the god awful ugliest thing on the face of the earth. But and so she was talking about that, and then I said, you know what, maybe I'll actually go into Bicentennial and see if I could capture a picture.
Yep.
And so I was just sitting there looking out over the water, and on the North Brunswick side of Farrington, this bird was flying, and I zoomed in on it, and it had all the characteristics I was told to look for.
A bald eagle. Yeah.
And then, Councilwoman Dana Zimbicki as a friend, we were at a event at the Elks Club, which is right next to where Tammany Park is.
Okay.
And he actually saw a picture, got a picture of a eagle perched in a tree limb.
Right. That was a great photo. Yeah.
Came out with like, oh, maybe we should see if somebody else can get a really great picture.
Right.
And get some of these kids out from behind their devices and look at our parks and go out. And even if they don't catch a eagle, and it's not always going to be there, but appreciate what else there is in our parks.
Yeah, for sure.
So we started this whole contest about it, and then I got all these letters from people that are in the environmental groups saying that you can't do that, you're going to disturb the environment. I think the problem was that in our initial commercial we mentioned nests.
Right.
That was never the intention.
It was never an intention. Right. I'm not laughing at I'm kind of just chuckling at what went on behind the scenes and what really transpired and how we were contacted about this. And you're right. I mean, I was saying to somebody, these bald eagles, they've got great PR because these PR companies came down and were like, it's not happening. But yeah, you're right.
Well,
we were never going after their nests.
That was never
the plan.
Then there was this whole letter thing that came into the office about not doing it, and it was just a bad idea, and you got to be within 100 feet of a nest, otherwise the eagle won't protect its young, and it'll disturb.
Which opened our eyes to those things too. We didn't know,
but the intention was never to interrupt nests.
Correct.
We weren't sending drones up to like spy cam on the eagle and try. That was never the intention.
I remember you guys telling me, and I had to go back and re-record it and then put that in there. We do not want you to fly drones.
I simply wanted kids to not spend the week between camps and the end of school.
It was totally
in front of a TV or a computer or their cell phone, and get their butts into a park. We've got many parks in town.
Yeah.
I did a series of summer ago about all the different parks.
Yeah, you did. That's right. Yeah, you visited all the parks.
I want people to stop worrying about Route 18.
Right.
Which is, it's annoying.
Right, we got it.
But we get it.
Yeah.
And actually recognize that we have some really great park space.
Right.
Maybe if you're out there and you happen to be looking out at the lake and you were able to catch a great picture of an eagle.
That's all we wanted.
That's all we wanted.
Right. And then you were, but another good idea, you were going to try to tie it into, the fireworks and the 250th birthday, and that we can maybe give somebody an award. Maybe
enough complaints that it's just forget it. We're just not going to take it off the table.
Right.
Not worth arguing.
No.
And so we ended it. But the intention was to have people enjoy the parks that we have in town.
Correct.
If while you're there, you happen to snap a great picture of an eagle, boy, we would love to see that. Please don't climb trees.
right.
Don't send up drones.
Right, we're talking about people
not trying to peer on the the inner personal life of the eagle.
Yes, right.
That's not what our intention was.
No, and like I said, I'm just laughing at, I know what went on behind the scenes and how we were trying to come up with all these different, scenarios of we don't want people to do these things. But again, the mayor's intent was never, ever, ever to have anybody disturb nests and go close to these eagles. And it just was never the intention. It wasn't.
A picture.
Yeah, that's all it was.
If you happen to take a picture of something else in the park, there's many beautiful things to say, whether it's the botany and the different types of trees or the different types of animal life that's in the park that you could actually see in real eyes versus on your phone.
That's all we were doing.
That's all we were looking to do.
Right. And it's amazing how an innocent idea just takes on a whole life of its own. It was so crazy. Anyway, all right. So, we move on. Last but not least, before we really get into it, the town hall. You have a town hall coming up. You did many of these prior to running for Congress, but now you're going back to it. You're going to hit up a lot of these town hall events, and you're kicking it off July 16th at the CAC over here in East Brunswick.
Yeah. It's a lot of. Obviously, people have a lot to say.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
Tend to do it on here,
right?
And I think that there's a lot of good things that people should be talking about, and clearing up misconceptions.
Correct.
Letting people know about things we do know about in a way where it promotes dialogue.
Yes.
And that's what the town halls are meant to be. And so I'll do as many as I need to, as long as people are interested in knowing what's going on and getting real facts.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that's always been your intention, is to make sure that the residents of East Brunswick really do know the real facts and the reality of what's really going on, rather than just following each other on social media and all these rumors and chasing the rumor mill. It's not what you're ever about.
No. And some people just don't want to do anything but be that agitator.
Right, that's what they want, right? The agitator. Yeah, you're right.
That's just their lot in life, and they do it well. But I think most folks just want to know what's going on.
That's right.
And maybe a little bit of background as to how you came up with that decision.
Right.
And what's the plan.
Right.
I think and they're entitled to that.
Yep. All right, so there you go. You can find the mayor. He'll be at the Community Arts Center July 16th. That'll be his first back at it town hall event. And you're right. It's a great opportunity for residents to go out to see you and to raise their concerns for things that they've heard could be happening here in East Brunswick and what really is going on in East Brunswick.
Yeah, or things that they see going on, and why did we come to that decision? Why did you do this versus something else?
Yep.
And those are great questions, but it's very hard to do it on letters or social media or even Facebook Live. That's another mechanism I've done in the past, but it's limited. I think that a lot of these questions have context and nuance, and that is just so much easier done in person.
Right. Hey, listen, this is coming from a mayor who received an email from somebody here in East Brunswick and decided to go knock on this person's door and really...
But I've done that before.
Yeah, and address what the email was about. Now, I don't know if we have a lot of time right now. Do you want to come back and talk about what you did? Or let's just come back. Let's take a break.
We're good.
When we get back, we will talk about how you just decided to go to this person's house and knock on their door.
Yeah, but that's not new for me.
Right,
But look, if you're going to ask me a question,
you're going to get an answer.
You're going to get an answer.
I really love it. I was just stunned when I heard. Okay, so let's take a break. This is another look inside and around East Brunswick. And when we get back, more with episode 34 of The Buzz About East Brunswick, where the mayor actually goes to someone's house and confronts them about the email. This is great. We'll be right back after this. Attention East Brunswick residents, this is your annual public record water quality report. Page 1 outlines the goals of East Brunswick's water utility and explains where your drinking water comes from. Page 2 provides information regarding the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection's Source Water Assessment Report and summary for East Brunswick's public water system. Page 3 discusses special health considerations and lists any contaminants detected through required testing and monitoring. Page 4 contains the complete water quality testing results provided by Middlesex Water Company. To view the full public record water quality report, scan this QR code located in the bottom right corner of this document. Visit eastbrunswick.org and navigate to Departments, Water Utility, or simply click the link included in this post. Thank you, East Brunswick, for taking the time to stay informed about your community's water quality. All right, guys, and we are back. Yes, episode 34 is up and rolling. So you said last week we were in episode 33, and the threes are very good luck to you. But 34, it's just a number now.
Yeah. It's okay.
It's just all right.
Doesn't
right. It doesn't
there's nothing that like jumps out.
Right.
And says, oh,
right.
34.
That's true. Okay. Well, so we're going to get into something really, really interesting here about, how does the town of East Brunswick, how do we react when something severe is hitting our area, meaning the storm that we just got through?
Right.
But before that, I promised everybody that you would tell the story where a resident emailed and you decided to go to this person's house, very nice, and just explain the answer. Instead of emailing them back, you want to do it face to face.
Yeah, I mean, that's not the first time I've done that. I do that actually pretty often. And it does sometimes surprise people. That the mayor actually came to answer my question.
Just when you were telling me, I was completely surprised. I'm like, no, you didn't. And you're like, yes, I went to their house. Just like decided to go.
Yeah, well, sometimes the questions or the things that are put in a letter, it's actually easier to talk to somebody than to write,
Sure.
War and Peace of a response.
Right. Because then you're going to say, who's reading this whole thing? And nobody's going to read it, right?
Or what sounded like a simple question really is more complex than that, and it's just easier to answer in person. And I don't have a problem with that. So, and most of the time, people tend to appreciate that mayor took the time to answer the question. This question was about...
Right. How many people can say that the mayor just decided to show up at my house? I doubt that there's many. I'm going to go on a limb and say that I don't believe there's many mayors that are just going out to the residents' homes, which I think that's incredible task. That's incredible that you do that. It really is. I
think
swear.
there's some that do. But
I'm going to say there's not many. I would say how many are doing it? I don't know very many.
Yeah, well, I don't
Go ahead.
So
what was the email about?
I just do what I think is right.
Right.
But the question had to do with why are we tearing down the mall?
Okay.
And not allowing people who are using it to do walkthroughs on the indoor of the mall
right.
That opportunity any longer. And why did we build a rink and not account for something like that? And so few people use the rink. Why did we use tax dollars for that?
Right.
And so in that short little question was like 3 questions.
Right.
So it's easier to answer that, one, the town doesn't own the mall.
Sure, right.
So the owner of the mall could do
whatever they want.
Whatever he wants. It's private property. I can't tell you what to do at your house unless you need to get permits, in which you're required to do.
Right.
Or you're going outside zoning and then you need zoning approval to do something that the house isn't zoned for.
Yeah.
But if that owner is doing whatever he thinks he needs to make that property a money generator, which it hasn't been for a long time.
Sure.
He has every right to do that.
Absolutely.
His goal in doing an indoor mall was not to make it a recreation space for people in town. They happen to end up using it for that.
Right.
But there's no arrangement with the town for them to use it for that purpose. And when he shuts it down, there's no obligation on our part to provide that service.
Yeah.
However.
Right.
If you did look at the rink.
Yeah.
Which I looked at when he...
Guys, this is so interesting that he did this. This is so interesting.
I said, you could actually walk inside. It looks a lot smaller from the outside than it does when you walk inside. I think your eyes kind of pop out of your head when you walk in.
Yeah.
Because when you drive by it, you're only seeing the side of the rink. It doesn't look that big.
Right.
But when you walk in, it's
grand.
It's pretty grand.
Yeah, people have said that too. They've said that they're very impressed on the way it looks and how big it really is on the inside.
If you actually do a circuit and go around each rink,
because there's two rinks,
and the upstairs mezzanine, which circles both rinks,
that's extra workouts.
Right? That is a third of a mile.
That's great.
And about 35 calories if you're doing a brisk walk,
Right.
Which is very doable. You do that circuit 3 times, you've done a mile.
Right.
So for those folks that are really upset that they don't have a place to do indoor walking, especially as it's 105 degrees.
Unbelievable, right.
Like, I would have died to be on a cool place and do some walking.
We've given you a place with tons of cool air conditioning. It's cool in there. Yeah, right.
It just, it opens up early in the morning.
Yeah.
And it's a public facility. So you have an indoor walking area if you want to use it. For anybody now who would like to do some walking in the morning, just got to contact the rink to find out what time it's open. And but it's a rink. As we start moving on, you're going to find that as it fills, the space is going to be limited for people to book ice, which means that you're going to see people getting out on the ice early in the morning. It's not uncommon in many places where rinks are filled to see 5 o'clock in the morning ice time.
Oh, for sure. No, I played in the men's league. Yes,
starting at 10 o'clock at night. Right. So we have a building and a facility and a place for you to go, and it's township owned. And you should use it because you paid for it. Right.
That's true. True. Good point. No, and I think that you, prior to us getting on, we were talking about what we were talking about today, and you made a good point, and I want you to bring it out here, that the ice rink can be used for so many other things other than just ice skating and hockey.
There's party rooms, there's upstairs rooms, there's lounges, there's a TV area, there's a, so besides just the rinks.
Yeah.
So I think that we're renting it out for parties. So if some of these over 65-year-old crowd starts walking around and going, oh, wow, there's a party room. Maybe my grandchild needs a birthday party. That's exactly what we want.
Yeah, make a suggestion for sure. Yeah.
There's programs going on there that they might not have been aware of. Now walking through there, you'll see the agendas of
on those on the 2 TVs there.
TVs, any type of pamphlets.
Right.
I think that it opens up what facility we have in its potential
for other possibilities
to another group of people that wouldn't have ordinarily walked in there. So I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, makes sense.
And that's
pretty clever that you decided though to go there and test it out and do the walk and then actually put it on your phone. I think that's genius, very genius.
Well,
that's great.
But hey, it's even in the winter, right? It's still going to be, when it's brutally cold, that'll actually be warmer than outside. But so you put a sweater on or a sweatshirt and you do the circuit.
And, just to go to show you one last thing about the mall, I think to me, it says there wasn't a lot going on in that mall. If people can go there and just use it as like a track to walk around, there's not much going on.
The mall's never really opened until a little bit later. So most people were doing their walks early in the morning. And so it wasn't as if they were going there to shop.
Right. They were
going literally to just
walk.
Have an indoor place to walk where it wasn't subject to the elements.
Gotcha.
And we have that. So now go to the rink.
Go to the rink. Okay, so now let's get into it. This storm, it took everybody by surprise. I just want to ask you yourself, as just not the mayor, just a regular person, because for me, I didn't hear from the weather people that it was going to be this bad. I heard there'd be some pop-up thunderstorms, but that's it. It was a little bit lighter, I heard. What did you hear?
Well, I knew that Saturday, which is when we had the 4th of July, that we had forewarning that it was going to be bad storms.
Oh, you did?
That we knew about. That's why we were holding off as soon as we could to make a decision on whether or not to keep them open or not, because you could be off by an hour, and these weather forecasters, some of them are better than others. But they're not going to tell you to the exact time. But when we're told that there's a 60 to 80% chance that we're going to be hit with dangerous thunderstorms and massive winds, I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm not putting people's lives at
So
risk.
when you say we, who is in your team?
So we is,
who makes those decisions?
It's a combination of the head of Office of Emergency Management, which is John Cossack. He's been doing this for a very long time. He's got great connections with all of the different weather professionals. Our chief of police. Our business manager. And of course, it was a recreation event, so it was going to be the head of recreation.
So you all get together?
We were calling each other from Friday through Saturday morning.
So you're starting to get East Brunswick prepared already. Like the powers that be, they're already on notice that there's a bad storm coming through.
Right. What we didn't know was the one Friday night.
Right. That's I can't believe the force of the wind, and you got to think about it. We're on a planet. We're just nothing compared to Mother Nature. Like she's got force.
Right. And these things can change on a dime.
Yes, they can.
So our decision about Saturday night, yes, it was bad. It ended up being a little later than we were told it was going to be.
Right.
But you don't have the luxury of vision after the fact. You have to make a decision going forward based on the information that's being given to you at the time, and we will always
of course,
err on the side of safety.
Gotcha.
Always.
So does the ultimate decision to cancel it after you've heard everybody's piece, does that come down to you? You're the last, you make that final decision. Is that correct?
Yes.
Gotcha. Right. I think that's great. No, that's how I was imagining that's how it has to be. You hear from your team, that you rely on, and then you make that ultimate decision on canceling the fireworks.
Right. And, somebody has to be the decision maker.
Right. That's you.
But you want it based on the most accurate information.
Right.
Knowing full well that nobody's going to give you something that's 100%. They don't. There's that capacity isn't out there.
Gotcha. And now I want to ask though, how quickly, like for the chief of police, how quick is he to assemble a team to be ready for what's about to hit East Brunswick? And it goes for the fire department as well. How do they operate on that?
These are emergency people. They know
what they're doing.
This is the job.
Right.
You're going to be called on the drop of a dime.
Yeah, that's right.
And look, as a physician who's dealt in emergency rooms and OB,
good point.
Got to be able to move. This is the world we swim in.
Right.
So we're used to that.
Yeah, good point.
But we've got phenomenal staff of people. I even said this early on when COVID hit. Mm-hmm. I had the same team.
Yeah.
Whether it was Joe, our business administrator, or John Cossack and the chief of police, between the three of them, I had almost 100 years of experience around the table.
Gotcha.
You don't find that.
No, I get you. You have to surround yourself with a great supporting staff that knows what they're doing here in and around this area. You're right. Yeah, I totally understand that. I do. I think it's great. What's one of the factors that you always know, wow, there's going to be a major storm that's coming through here? Is there an area here in East Brunswick that's always going to get hit hard?
That's very hard to predict. We've got lots of trees, and some of it has been grown in for a long time, and so you always worry that trees are going to fall. And we had a lot of tree issues. We fortunately, in the last Friday and Saturdays, we didn't get a lot of road closures.
Okay.
Other towns, it was terrible.
Oh, yeah.
But we did get a lot of tree damage.
Right.
But fortunately, it wasn't ones that caused traffic issues or road closures. We did get our share of energy, both PSE&G and JCP&L service parts of our town.
Okay.
So both of them had outages. And unfortunately...
How did they fare for us, for East Brunswick?
Because we didn't have many, the energy companies will always go to the places where it's hardest hit.
Okay.
And of course, it was also a holiday.
That's right.
So Monmouth County got it much worse than Middlesex. So they're going to go to Monmouth County where they know there's much more damage, where there's large sections that if they can get the power back on, more houses will come on faster than the one-offs here in East Brunswick.
Yeah, right.
So unfortunately, people here did have to wait because they prioritize it. Had it been the other way around, where East Brunswick got it worse, or Middlesex.
Yeah, right.
That is how the energy companies...
Yeah, and I understand that. Yeah. My mother lives in a section here in East Brunswick where all the power lines are underground, so she very seldom loses power.
Yes and no.
Okay.
That we've got areas in town where they still lost power because invariably those streets may have underground wires, but the power grids and the lines to that street are above ground.
Oh, get it. Okay, right. Gotcha. Oh, so it's not necessarily that the power's underground that you're not going to lose power. It can still happen because everything above ground is affected.
If it was a tree that would have fallen on a line in front of your house and there's no lines, there you bit the bullet, you didn't get loss of power.
Right.
But if it's the main power line that's coming to your street where the lines are buried and that line goes down, you're out.
Right, I get you. So how do you think, all in all, how do you think East Brunswick fared during these crazy storms here?
I think we fared fairly well, and our teams responded very quickly. And the things that we can't control, the energy companies, that we have no control over that. Legally, we can't.
Now, are you on the phone with them? Do you talk? So there's somebody for you to discuss and what's going on.
Yeah, with both companies, we have our reps who give us updates, and the companies will give us updates regularly on how many homes are out, how quickly they're going to get back.
They notify you, right? They have to, You have to, because you have to be notified of what's going on. Who's being affected
they
by
also
this.
know that our residents are going to be calling us for those answers, so we better
they want to
have them.
Yeah. I get you.
Yeah.
No, it was quite the weekend. It really was. I have never seen it like that. It was just
people in that still don't have power.
Yeah, no, I know. I heard some stories. People aren't getting it until this coming Thursday. They have 2 more days yet to live like this. And with this heat, it's uncomfortable for people.
Well, today, fortunately, it's a little cooler.
Yeah, right. But still,
but I don't know if I'd want to be without power at all, and especially with the temperatures that we had last week.
Right, it was horrible. Well, listen, nice job. Honestly, you guys did a great job. All right, we're going to take another quick break here, take another look inside and around East Brunswick, and when we get back, we're going to go over some of the things that are happening here in East Brunswick that you might want to be a part of, and also what you're taking part in. We'll discuss that in just a second. This is The Buzz About East Brunswick. We'll be back after this.
It's Chief Lasaka with another episode of Behind the Badge, and today we're going to talk to Lieutenant Boble of Traffic Safety about e-bikes.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Boble with the East Brunswick Police Department Traffic Safety Unit. On January 19, 2026, New Jersey enacted a new e-bike law aimed at improving safety and accountability as electric bicycles become more common on our roadways. The law establishes new requirements for licensing, registration, and in some cases, insurance. As we approach full enforcement on July 20th, 2026, our goal is to ensure riders understand the new requirements and can operate safely and legally. So what is the new law? The biggest change is that New Jersey now treats e-bikes more like motor vehicles than traditional bicycles. The law is focused on accountability, education, and safety. Riders need to understand that operating an e-bike comes with legal requirements and responsibilities. Riders must be at least 15 years old to operate an e-bike. Riders between 15 and 16 years old must obtain a motorized bicycle permit or license. Anyone 17 years of age or older must have either a valid driver's license or a motorized bicycle license. A DOT-approved helmet is required for all e-bike riders, regardless of age. E-bikes are now required to be registered with the New Jersey Motor Vehicle Commission, and some electric bicycles and motorized bicycles may also require insurance under the new law. The law is intended to increase accountability through licensing, registration, rider education, and insurance requirements while improving safety for everyone using our roadways. Our message to riders is simple. Wear a helmet every time you ride, obey traffic signals and stop signs, stay off your phone and avoid distractions, slow down around pedestrians, schools, parks, and neighborhoods, and ride predictably and make yourself visible. Before purchasing an e-bike, parents should understand the capabilities of the device, the legal requirements that apply, and whether their child has the maturity and judgment necessary to operate it responsibly. Know the law before you ride. Make sure you're properly licensed, registered, and insured if required, and always operate your e-bike safely and responsibly.
All right, guys, just getting ready to wrap things up here in episode 34 of The Buzz About East Brunswick. If you've been watching us on EBTV 26, well, thank you very much. Then you're on YouTube. And if you're streaming us on Spotify, iHeart, Apple Music, or Amazon, we want to thank you guys for being along for the ride as well. So let's get into it. There's a couple of things that are still happening.
There's a buzz.
There's a buzz about East Brunswick. There's a lot going on, right? And the summertime, there is a lot of things happening here in East Brunswick. We even have the county fair that gets kicked off. Was it August the 3rd, I believe?
Yeah, it's usually the first weekend.
Right, yep. But let's talk about it. So we have Crystal Springs Family Water Park. They're going to be extending the hours. So right now, if you are a season pass holder, you can get in at 11 a.m. If you're going there for the day, you can get in at 12 noon. Now, usually it closed at 6 o'clock, but now they're extending it till 8 o'clock for a couple of days.
Yeah, well, we have been listening to
The residents.
people and the
Yeah.
residents, and a lot of them were upset because the parks close at 6 o'clock.
Right.
And if you're someone who doesn't really go on the weekends because it's too busy for you or it's too crowded and you want to be with crowds,
Yeah.
but you do want to go after work,
Yeah.
that really makes it impossible.
Right, very
So
difficult,
we're
yeah.
coming up with a program for July where we're going to test how many people are really interested. There'll be a separate season pass for those people or fee for those that want to come in and be there till 8 o'clock at night.
Right.
And if it works, if there's interest, what we're looking to do for August is make it something that's more regular. So you
it's
can buy a
great.
package for just August that would give you the ability to come into the park and stay till 8 o'clock when on the weekdays.
Gotcha. Yeah. So it's going to be on Tuesday and Thursdays in July. It'll be July 21st, 23rd, the 28th, and the 30th. And yeah, I'm glad that you clarified that.
And if
about
that works, then we'll
experimenting
make it something that's more permanent for the month of August.
Yeah, no, because you're right. People love to complain, as we always know, and one of their biggest
But I
complaints
think
is,
that's a reasonable complaint,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
If
I
you're
get that.
working and you
Yeah.
don't get out of work till 5, 6 o'clock at night, what are you going to run over to the pool for a minute?
No, you're right. You're not going to make it, and it doesn't. You're right. That doesn't pay for you to try to get there. And if you're a family and one's at work and the kids are, you want to have fun with your family.
Yeah.
I get that. Yep, you're right. There is the Summer Patriots. It's the Family Fun Day. East Brunswick sponsors it. It's at the Somerset Patriot game on July the 12th. I think that's a lot of fun to bring people out. You still have to buy the tickets, but it will be a big East Brunswick day and East Brunswick presence.
And for those people who have young kids,
Yeah.
it's a great way of going to a baseball game.
Yeah.
Not as many innings as it is in going to the major leagues. It's not as far.
Right. No, right.
Less expensive.
Yeah, that's true.
And little kids have patience is a little bit limited.
And they have a lot going on in between innings that they don't have at a regular
Right.
Major League Baseball game. They've got, dizzy bat for the fans. They got these
it's
relay
geared
races.
for the
It is. It really is. I agree. So there you go. You have something to look forward to. That's on July the 12th. Coming up on July 15th, it's National Hot Dog Day. And East Brunswick does something really fun. We actually give away hot dogs,
Free
right?
hot dogs.
Yeah, so tell me about that.
We've been doing that for a couple of years now. We offer it to anybody in town who wants to come in. It's not just our employees.
Right.
And it's a free hot dog. And usually it's just a nice way of having folks in town come to the township, see at the same time as they're eating their free hot dog,
Right.
talk to some of the people that work here. Many of them, many of the people that work here live here.
Right,
So it's just a nice, let your hair down.
Relax, have a
free
hot dog.
It's a hot dog.
What kind of hot dog do you like? What's your favorite?
Hebrew National.
No, that's great. But what do you put on? What do you put on it? How do you
I think
dress
we
it up?
had this conversation
Did we?
before. Yes, remember we were talking about
Oh, yeah,
hot
the
dogs?
camera guys are shaking their head. We have. All right, stupid me. I didn't
It's
know.
okay. Like my
All right.
deli mustard.
Yes.
And I usually put a little coleslaw on it.
Gotcha. So, and there is another, what is it? Do they put coleslaw on a Chicago dog? I'm not sure, but coleslaw comes into play with a certain hot dog. And I'm not sure who it is.
I don't know.
I should not go on a limb and say Chicago, but I know that Chicago does do something. I know they have put tomatoes and a pickle on it, but I'm not sure if they do coleslaw or not. But it sounds good though. Sounds good. So there you go. So that is on July 15th, National Hot Dog Day. It's going to be running from 11 a.m. until 2 o'clock, and it'll be here at the Municipal Complex that you could drop by and grab yourself a free hot dog, which is great. The outdoor markets, which really have taken off. People love these outdoor markets. The next one for us will be Friday, July the 17th. How's that going?
I mean, the only thing about, well, first of all, it goes great because usually a lot of people end up showing up between the food vendors that are there and the different vendors that are selling whatever
the crafts
that they have. Most of them are from East Brunswick, and people like that.
Yeah.
And then there's music going on, and just another way of letting your hair down on a Friday night.
Yeah, that's great.
Where you could interact with people in your own community. It's just weather dependent.
Sure, right.
Everything that you do outside, so it's weather dependent.
Yeah.
But we really found that the Friday nights ended up being a lot more crowded and a lot more interest than the ones that were on the weekend.
Well, because the weekend comes, you already got your
And
plans.
it's the summer. A lot of people made plans.
Yep.
They might be down at the shore. But Friday night, it seems like folks want something to do, and this is has taken
Good
off.
way to kick off the weekend by going to
so
this.
please come out.
Yeah, so markets are happening. Again, the next one is happening Friday, July the 17th. Speaking of live music, we used to call it Acoustic Monday, but it's been rebranded now as the Summer Concert Series. So that's going to start July the 20th. And what's your thoughts on that?
But that's something that's also been popular. People will come out with their own chairs or just sit on the lawn by the square between the municipal building and the library and the senior center.
Yes.
And just sit there and listen to great music.
Yep.
Many of them are homegrown or local people. And we said acoustic because most of the music was acoustic.
Correct.
Now we're opening it up to more than that, so we did away with that.
Right, so it's the Summer Concert Series.
And just come out with the family and sit down and relax. Bring a blanket if you want.
Right.
Something to eat and enjoy.
No, it's great.
Free music.
The very first act that we're going to have there is a group by the name of Verdict. They're a reggae band, and that they are backed by popular demand, as one might told. Like, people really just love them. So they're going to kick off the Summer Concert Series on Monday, July the 20th. So that's a cool thing to go see right there.
That's good.
Last but not least, the Food Truck Palooza. This is a big deal, and it keeps on getting bigger and bigger, and more trucks are involved. Tell us about that. That's happening on August 22nd.
Well, we just invite people love food trucks.
Yeah.
And we in a township don't really allow them to be located in any other areas regularly like you may see in other towns.
Right.
Because it's still a business.
Sure.
And I don't want anything taking away from the businesses that are already renting space, paying taxes, just because somebody wants to park a truck somewhere.
That is interesting. I never give them much thought. You're right.
The businesses that we have in town.
Right.
So in order to give them an opportunity to come here and for people that like going to food trucks, that's what this is about.
Gotcha.
So it's a scheduled event where the food trucks are there, but not, I'm always going to find it on this corner and now compete with, what's the
like the hot dog cart lady, or there's none of that here. Right. No, it never dawned on me, but you're right. There's no food trucks here in East Brunswick. Yeah. No, I get it. That's not a bad thing, but I understand your reasoning as well. And I get that. They should not be competing with the businesses that are already here. I get that. Yeah. So that's why you chose to have Food Truck Palooza, which is really cool. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Yeah, and it continues to grow and grow. If you haven't been a part of it, you really should. More trucks are always added every single year. From what I'm told, this is the largest amount of trucks.
We actually have a place here in East Brunswick, not far from Hatikva, the charter school.
Yes.
That builds food trucks.
Oh, get out, really?
In East Brunswick.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, maybe you should bring them in. That's a very cool business. And they take whatever company wants to utilize a truck.
Yeah.
And they convert it into a truck for that business's
Oh, that's
food.
cool. But
cool. It's a food truck business right
all right,
here in
food
town.
for thought for that one. We're gonna try to look into that, see if we can get them on the show. That'll be great. All right, and then again, last but not least, let's just reiterate that you will be at the Community Arts Center on July the 16th for your next town hall.
Town hall, 7:00 at night.
Right.
Come in with questions and concerns, and let's have a dialogue.
That's it. So yeah, the door's open to every single resident of East Brunswick. Please show up, meet the mayor. If you have some concerns on your mind, some things that you've heard about, whether it be on social media or just through your friends, it's a great opportunity for you to address it. It's live. You're there. You can stand up and ask the mayor a question, and he will answer it. There's no doubt that he will be answering that question.
Well, it's not like a Bill Clinton thing. It's nothing to do. Is it boxers or briefs, or is it like that? Not going to that detail.
Gotcha, right.
Town related.
Town related, right. I mean, today, you're right. Today's day, you got to clarify everything, clarify it all. All right, guys, so that does it for us. That is episode 34 of The Buzz About East Brunswick, and I hope that we really did get to a lot of these things. I think we accomplished a lot today.
I think so.
Yeah, 34, not bad.
Not bad.
All right, Mr. Mayor. All right, guys, so you guys go out and enjoy yourselves. Now go spread these words to all your friends all over social media, what you heard here on today's podcast. This is The Buzz About East Brunswick, episode 34. We'll see you here next week for episode 35.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.